I'm here to talk about the raises, of course, the sheriff's department. Sometimes in all the political stuff, the people that get forgotten about are the workers, the guys that are actually out there doing the work. And just real quick, they make $11.90 an hour for a month. That's right at $999. Okay. So after all the required income taxes, retirement, Social Security comes out of that, they have roughly $636 in deductions. All right, so after everything's taken out, you're left with about $1,362. Okay, now after that, if you take out what you normally would pay for what everybody pays, gas, groceries, phone, television, water, and electric, your utilities run roughly about $830. And I've looked at utility bills. This is how I got these figures. So that's going to leave whoever that is with $532 at the end of the month. Okay. Now, rent, the lowest rent I found in Stewart County is about $400. That's me from what I found. So they had $532 left. They're going to pay their rent. Now they got $132. Okay. What if they have daycare? What if they have car payment? Turn that off. Car payment, student loans, stuff like that. So $11.90 is just not enough for. This is a single. This is a single person here. So that's what I just want y'all to know. In reality, that $11.90 doesn't cut it in today's realistic prices of what they have to do. Everybody who's got kids, you know what daycare runs you. And that's whether your kids are in there or not, you're going to pay that. So that's what I wanted to say. I brought this up just to let y'all know some real world numbers on what somebody starting out at the jail is going to take home. So I appreciate y'all listening.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. David Ross, I believe.
I think I'm third, but
No, the other gentleman didn't show.
oh, thank you. Commissioners, taxpayers, I'm David Ross. I'm a Tennessee public school teacher. I'm a candidate for 6th District School Board appointment. Children, all children, come first with me, always, no exceptions. That's why I'm running. Each one of you commissioners have children in your district that attend Stewart County Middle School. Stewart County Middle School is in District 6. So my constituents or your constituents. In February, we had a tragedy at our middle school. This isn't the venue to discuss that, much more than to say this. As a teacher, I would like to say this. The training that teachers, administrators, schools directors get on bullying prevention in the state of Tennessee is woefully inadequate. We watch a video, a 2-hour video. It's the same video that I've seen for 18 years. It's a good start. It's not enough. It needs to be supported, reinforced throughout the school year. For some students, not all. For some teachers, not all, but potentially all. We live in a literal war zone in our schools, and we are taking casualties. And you can't say it won't happen here, because it already has. Unless you're in the schools day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, you really don't know what's going on. Whether you're a school board member, director of schools, county commissioners, parents. You need real-time, accurate, complete intel that only someone on the front lines is going to be able to provide you. We would be one of the few school systems in the entire state or nation with a professionally licensed teacher on the school board. By law, a teacher cannot serve on a school board where they work. I work in another school district. I have nieces and nephews in each school. I'm transparent, I'm a taxpayer, I'm a Christian, I ask tough questions, I hold multiple master's degrees, I do my homework, I am cordial. I'm a problem identifier, a problem solver. But you cannot solve problems until you identify them, acknowledge them, and address them. The days of "we have always done it that way" is cruel. It's inadequate, it's lazy, and it's unacceptable. And those days are gone. Put all children first. Put a teacher on the school board. Thank you.
Thank you, David. This time I call the called session to order. If you would stand, I would ask Mr. Bonteer to take us to the implication, please.
Holy Father, as we come to meet tonight, take care of the county's business, I pray that you guide our steps. Father, that we think about what we're doing and the results from what we're doing, and we just want to do nothing in vain. Father, I ask, Lord, a blessing upon this county, this commission, and all our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, wherever they are in the world, and their families. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a roll call, please.
Elijah Thomas.
Here.
Brian Teeber. Rick Joyner. Here. Randall Redmond.
Here.
Shane Cates.
Here.
Eric Watkins. Terry Fitzhugh.
Here.
Vince Gray.
Here.
Archie Fryer.
Here.
Melissa Fields. Here. Riley Jones.
Here.
Clint Mathis.
Here.
Mark George.
Here.
Alexis Taylor. Here. 13 present, one absent.
This time we'll have approval of minutes. Has everybody had enough sufficient time to look over the minutes?
Second.
Motion to approve by Joyner, second by Fields. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ms. Heather, would you like to address bi-monthly reports?
Yes, sir. Basically, these are just the various departments, county general, sheriff's, EMS, highway, school, including federal projects, cafeteria transportation, and county UT ag extension.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by George. Second by Mathis. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Say that, I'm sorry. Follow it on.
There be any opposed? Right. Item number 7 is approval of notaries. We have 2 new notaries. They are McKenna O'Neill and Valerie Wynn. We have 3 renewals. Mr. Brian Watson, Ms. Amanda Zellers, and Sir Lester Riggins.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Yes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This time, item agenda number 8 is the approval of the budget amendments. I'll ask Ms. Heather to, if they're elaborating, if there's any questions.
These budget amendments here, pages 17 through 26, I'm sorry, 17 through 25, for the county general, the other general special revenue, roads, highways, school, and debt service were all approved by budget finance at their last meeting and recommended for full approval to the commission. If there's any questions on any specific, I can ask.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by George, second by Fitzhugh. Having monetary value, we'll ask for a roll call. Have a roll call vote.
Terry Fitzhugh,
Yes.
Vince Gray,
Yes.
Archie Cryer,
Yes.
Melissa Fields.
Yes.
Bradley Jones.
Yes.
Clint Mathis.
Yes.
Mark Borch.
Yes.
Alexis Taylor.
Yes.
Elijah Thomas.
Yes.
Brian Seaver.
Yes.
Rick Joyner.
Yes.
Randall Redmond.
Yes.
Shane Hayes.
Yes.
Eric. Yes.
Thank you. Item number 9 on the agenda is a resolution to opt out of statewide building code standards for one-family and two-family dwellings in Stewart County.
Move it up.
That is exactly what it speaks, and we have to either opt in or opt out every couple of years. So this is the year that we either opt in or opt out. I was guessing the consensus was opting out, but that'll be up for discussion if you have it. Motion by Mr. Fitzhugh. Second. Second by Mr. Gray. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 10 is a resolution making appropriations to nonprofit charitable organizations of Stewart County beginning July 1st, 2022, ending June the 30th of 23. Do we have any discussion on this? I would ask Ms. Heather to, she's told me that she can explain it to you a lot better.
This is simply a revision. This is actually, I think, the third revision that we've had now. Anytime we change up a charitable contribution, we have to revise the resolution that was originally passed with the original budget. So the one change that exists on this one is on page 27. Originally, the budget had $18,000 going to Sage Lee Biker Bully Rescue for the animal control coordination. That half of that money was paid for the months of July through December to that organization. However, now we are looking to work with the organization Humane Society for the remainder of the fiscal year. So it would basically just be pulling $9,000 that was going to go to Sage Lee over to go to Humane Society. And my understanding is they're going to be using that for training and different things of that sort for the animal care coordination of the county. So it's no new monies, it's simply moving it from one, or a portion of it from one organization to another.
Motion to approve.
Heather, do we have to spend this money or divvy it out on certain time periods?
No, I mean, charitable contributions are fully at the discretion of the commission. So, I mean, if you don't reallocate the $9,000, we could also just pull it out. We could strike it to reduce that total amount, $9,000. That would be another option, or you could do anything in between.
I know in nonprofit, we were discussing the money for next year as it come up. And we kind of put in that hole a little bit to see what on the budget. We could have been planning on. Is the reason I asked that.
Yes. Yeah, I
Do
know
you
not.
only bring in that much every year?
We do not bring in 18,000. Basically, I think this year we brought in about 6,000. You're talking about the rabies money that will go towards, rabies money that goes towards animal control is roughly 5,000 to 6,000 a year. We've allocated 18, I think this is the second or third year in a row that it's been an 18,000 annual appropriation.
Well, I was thinking when we done nonprofit, we we're gonna try to have a meeting with the organization, along with the sheriff, I think, to see what the plan was before we done it.
Yes, I believe that's planned for the new year. This is existing year, but
This is already allocated.
Right.
So,
And so who's it already allocated for?
say.
yeah, originally all 18,000 was going to
And
go
we have
to,
to allocate it to somebody at this time.
you do not have to, no.
So what I'm getting at is, after we decide what we're gonna do with next year's budget, the money for next year's budget, during next year's budget, I would like to make sure that whatever organization this goes to gets the most money possible to take care of the issue that we're trying to solve. So if we give these individuals $9,000 and then a month from now, when we make them nonprofits and decide to give it to another organization or individual to take care of it, we're splitting the money. Does that make sense? I think I'm not gonna make a motion to tackle this.
Well, we have 2 motions already on the floor, so this is simply discussion. We'll have to vote on the first one, and then we have 2 already on the floor.
I talked to you, I talked to the table around. You have to vote on the motion table first.
So what you're tabling, the allocated money from last year's budget, that the $9,000 to be tabled and not spent. Is that
Until we figure out what we're gonna do, because I wanna make sure whoever gets this is gonna get enough money to be able to take care of the issue that we're trying to solve.
the plan for the $9,000 that I spoke with Miss Susan Bauman and Tina Ramsey about was to send 2 county officers, 2 city patrolmen, and 1 lady from dispatch to animal care control. I don't know exactly what the classes are. I don't know if that is a go. The sheriff's here, if he would like to speak on that. I don't know if that's a go or.
This is this year's money.
This is
not
money
what we're
that's
going
on-
into budget that we're discussing this for, but you're wanting to see if we hold that money back until we make our decision to put it in next year's budget? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, because I feel like we need to make sure that the one, I personally feel like we need to be one organization to get the money. I would hate to give this to them, I'm not saying we won't give the next money to them, but I hate to give this away and then, lo and behold, we change our mind, something happens, and the money gets divided up.
So what you're saying is, like typically, just speaking, we would give 31,000 to animal control. This 9,000 would go with that 31,000,
That's correct.
making it a total of
That's-
40 grand.
that's correct.
For somebody
That's correct.
that potentially would contract with us to do an animal control.
That's correct. That's the way I feel like it should happen.
Can you send it back to, the whole situation, can you send back to the animal control committee and get an answer from them?
I mean, my question is, if you can use money that's already been allocated for another year financially, would be the question that was on.
I wouldn't think that would be allowed, but they'll have to go back into general fund.
Yeah, you could pull it, you can make a motion to table it and pull the 9,000 out of the budget. I'll come back with a budget amendment in June to marry up the budget. Basically, you're just pulling $9,000, you're reducing that $284,766 down $9,000, not giving the remaining $9,000 to anyone. It'll go back to fund balance. Next year, you could choose to raise it or lower it, however you see fit.
But that would increase that final number for the nonprofits, correct?
For which year?
For next year.
If you choose to give the additional 9, you could just pull the 9 and not give it to anyone. It just, I'm not sure exactly what the motion is.
That's what, clarify my motion, will be pull this 9,000 out.
Okay. Completely for this fiscal year.
For this fiscal year, let the rest go, and 9,000 can sit there, and we figure out what's gonna go. And then whoever we go with, decide to go with, full commission, whatever, we go with, we can hold them out.
Put a 9,000 from.
It's the rabies,
The ACC.
In essence, you're just pulling it from fund balance.
Animal
Put it
coordinator
back.
is what it was appropriated for. However, when I came into office, the animal care coordinator from the past had left, and we had, not we, the commission at that time had allocated the money to Sagley's animal control. She lost the lady that was working for her doing this position. I didn't feel like, as a county, when Ms. Heather came and said, it's time for her check, I couldn't get an answer on who was doing that position and if it was being done. So I asked her to hold it until we formulated a plan for it. Well, at that time, Miss Tina Ramsey got with Sheriff Gray and a couple of others and formulated a plan to send these officers, 2 from the city, 2 from the county, and Miss Lisa Long to training. And so we were going to return that money to the Humane Society, which had it before safety, right? And Miss Susan Bauman said, yes, I will be a steward of that money as I have been up until the last 6 months. That's how there's 9,000 there. That money's already been appropriated and gone. However, that's what I was asking the sheriff. Is the plan still to do that? I feel like that would be important for the commission to know. Are you still planning on sending 2 deputies to animal control? Is that what your plan is, sir?
Well, let me say this, I got a phone call said I was against this earlier today. I'm not against it, I don't think there's anybody in the room, I don't, too many love animals more than I do. But here's my dilemma, no, I can't see anybody right now because I'm short. I'm not going to run a shift short, send it. And not only that, I don't have anybody that wants to do it. I had two and they backed out, so nobody wants to do it, and I'm not going to make anybody do it. Now, I would caution about making people that are not deputies inside the city, that's fine, but if you're gonna get a civilian to do it, that's fine, but somebody's got to commission them if he's planning on making an arrest or something, and I have reservations about that, but I'm not against it, but bottom line is, I don't have anybody I can send to school right now, and I don't have anybody that wants to go.
Thank you.
So I think whoever we decide, if we can get this animal control issue figured out, animal care issue figured out for the next budget year, let that organization decide if they're gonna send somebody or not. I mean, I feel like if we're gonna approve to give them money, they would be good stewards of their money.
I will pull my motion to approve it.
Me too.
If, I'm gonna ask for clarification from our lawyer, if y'all don't mind. Let him explain what needs to happen, so we don't do this twice.
Table, you want to pass it without the 9,000, Mark is going to withdraw his motion.
I will withdraw my motion back. Pass it on.
So we have,
We're voting on that entire amendment, it's minus the 9,000.
The
Right.
last one passed had it. So we're gonna pull 9,000 altogether, make a motion for 9,000.
okay. Properly first, properly second, properly withdrawn,
Did you?
properly withdrawn.
Correct.
Motion on the table is for, Vince, you mind clarifying that, sir?
Would be to hold the $9,000.
Withdraw the $9,000 from the resolution and vote on it appropriately?
Yes.
That is the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we need to vote on the resolution. Now we will be voting on the resolution. Seconded by Shane. All right, at this time we'll be voting on resolution number 10, striking the 9,000. Everybody understand that? Is that fairly clear? That's muddy water? Yes.
Can we specify that we are specifically striking the line that says, the second to the last line on page 27, that is $9,000 to Humane Society, reducing that total in section 1 to $275,766? So there's no confusion?
I would take, did everyone hear Ms. Heather on that? I will entertain a motion to approve it as she stated. So moved
Section 1.
by Mayor Joyner. Do
Section
I have a
1
second?
is 284. Second.
Second by Ms. Fields. Will there be any further discussion?
I mean, other than this, the only further discussion, I think that we need to have an animal control committee meeting in order to get everything hashed out before we start the next nonprofit resolution, nonprofit committee meeting and all that kind of stuff. Because we're gonna be in the same boat again, if we don't have an animal control committee meeting to get it all hashed out, who's going where and who's gonna send who and who's gonna spend what money.
I agree.
But I'm not the chair of that committee, so I don't know who needs to call it.
I have the utmost faith in Miss Susan. I know she's trustworthy and does a good job of record and all that, so I don't have a problem there, but I think that animal control committee might need to meet and figure out exactly what the plan is gonna be, so we don't run into problems we run into in the past.
Being no further discussion, I'll ask for a roll call vote, please.
Terry Fitzhugh?
Now, what exactly are we voting on now?
We are voting on the resolution making appropriations to nonprofit and striking the 9,000 from that.
Okay, yeah.
Vince Gray?
Yes.
Archie Fryer?
Yes.
Melissa Fields?
Yes. Bradley Jones,
Yes.
Clint Mathis,
Yes.
Mark Dorch,
Yes.
Alexis Taylor, Elijah Thomas,
Yes.
Ryan Seaver,
Yes.
Rick Joyner,
Yes.
Randall Redmond,
Yes.
Shane Gates.
Yes.
Item number 11, resolution to approve a grant of 16.18 acres, 16.18 in the industrial park. That's going from the Stewart County to the Industrial Development Board of Stewart and Houston County.
Motion approved.
Motion by Mr. Phillips, second by Mr. Fitching. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item number 12 is a resolution to give the county mayor authority to execute any required form agreements necessary for implementation of the opioid settlement funds.
Motion to approve it.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 13 is the approval of Rye Engineering's contract for Stewart County Medical Center awning and renovation project.
Move it up. Second.
Shall there be any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 14 is approval for county mayor to enter into agreements with social media class action lawsuits. If there's any discussion in that, I'll turn it over to Charles.
Motion to approve.
Second by Mr. Griffin. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 15 is the approval of telephone system agreement for Stewart County Medical Center.
Motion approved.
Second.
We got a motion to approve by Mr. Mathis, second by Bowman. Is there any discussion on this? It was, they came and spoke during the budget and finance, and it's also in your packet. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 16 on your agenda is the approval of collection service agreement for the Stewart County Emergency Medical Service and Credit Bureau System.
Motion approved.
Redmond. Second by Mr. Jones. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 17 is the Stewart County Emergency Communications District Board recommendations, and that's due to the resignation of board member Mr. Jerry Barnes. We would ask that Charles Parks Sr. be a city representative selected to that board.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Ward, second by Thomas. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I have a question.
Okay, sorry.
Do we have to put Charles Parks on? Is there somebody else that could represent the city is what I'm asking? I feel like there's so many people in such high positions that are all got their hand in everything. Is there anybody else that could represent the city in
Well,
the 911?
I mean, I was the one that asked Mr. Parks to do that, so I don't know anybody better that knows the city business. The reason I asked for that is because we have a very large purchase coming up. Clint Mathis can discuss that if you would like, on new towers, new systems, new radios, and I felt it necessary for a city representative to be on there. We have county representatives, we have all the other representatives, but the city was really not represented at all in there. And they are going to be asked to spend money on this project. I feel like we would kill two birds with one stone, adding a city representative to the board instead of them having to go back and forth between their city council. That's the reason I nominated him to be on there.
Is he gonna be a voting member? Or next?
No, everybody on there is a voting member except myself, and I think Sheriff Gray is on there also as a ex officio. I think that's correct, isn't it? I think that's correct. since I didn't ask for, discussion on that, would you like for us to vote on that again? You okay?
Yeah.
Number 18 is the recommendation for Stewart County Emergency Communications District Board for the Stewart County Commission to consider erecting a sign along county line right-of-way in honor of Anderson Page. You have that in your packet.
What policy or guidelines do we go by to establish this?
It's an excellent question, Mr. Joyner, and we need to establish that. The question was what policy or guidelines do we have to establish this? The reason we are discussing this is because there was no policy or guidelines set before the 911 committee. We asked this family to do something, they brought it to the 911 committee, we asked them to do something, they went and did it, everything got turned upside down, and finally, the paper that's in your packet, they have decided they're not changing anything as far as the 911 road name. What they came up with in their meeting was, for this instance, to let the family concur the cost and put up a sign in honor of Mr. Anderson Page on that road.
But they're not changing the road name?
No.
They've got nothing
No.
to do.
So it's gonna be,
I'll take your motion, Mr. Tabor, and we will still be in discussion.
I'll go along with this as long as the next time, before we get another one of these, that there's some guidelines in place before we get in a jam with this. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Mr. Joyner, do you think we need to add that to an agenda item, or is that something we need to form a committee on to bring before the entire commission? What's your opinion?
Public safety or subcommittee needs to set some type of guidelines, because we're setting precedent here tonight. Without any guidelines on this. I'm not opposed to this one bit, but I know what's coming out the road.
I agree. I agree with that.
Probably, the road committee is probably appropriate. Wouldn't be a public safety, it's not an official name.
What does the county road superintendent think? I mean, is there any sort of regulation that says the sign has to be whatever? or-
On the honorary names, it comes to this board.
so it's gonna be like any other not honorary highway, like we did just last month with the athletic.
Only the pages who are in attendance have offered to incur the cost.
I'll make the second to the motion.
We have a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item number 19 is the Personnel Policy Handbook for employees of the Stewart County Clerk's Office and the Circuit General Sessions Court Clerk's Office. This is for information only, and it was in your packet. Did everybody have time to look over that? I would entertain a motion. Does not have to be approved. I'm sorry, Mr. Dorch, it is for information only. I apologize. They have the right to do that. All right, number 20 is the approval of surplus property. Has everyone had time to look through that, or would you like me to call it off? Motion to approve by Mr. Mathis, seconded by Mr. Teeber. Any discussion on item number 20? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This being a called motion, or a called session, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
I just have one question. With the telephone system, is the county looking into maybe doing that in the other buildings?
Spoke with them today, and they are actually here, but since we rolled past that, I will introduce them to you when we get done, if you have any questions. I had a bunch this morning,
I thought that their presentation was great. I was hoping that the county would do it.
I have a motion to adjourn on the table. You have a second? Second. Mr. Thomas, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a good